you done? On your feet! Get them going!
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. I am not a pastor, priest, rabbi, or any of those theological things. I'm just a guy on the internet that draws pretty pictures and comes on here to talk about Jesus. And for some reason, you come here to listen to me. I don't know why. There's something wrong with you, I think. Anyways, hello, Tina and Justin and Dustin. And I'm expecting Matt Weldon to call in today. It is Open Line Friday, so if you feel like calling in, I pinned the link to the top of the thing, right up there. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, that is. If you're watching on your phone, I don't know where the link is. Down there somewhere? Anyways, what's going on? Did you guys see my graphic novel is have you guys seen this? This is my graphic novel, The Hedge Knight. See, that's my name there. Miller. George R. R. Martin's The Hedge Knight, a Game of Thrones prequel graphic novel. I did this entire series, and daggum, man, they're making it into an HBO show. Comes out in January. The trailer dropped yesterday, and I was just like, I mean, it looks exactly like my drawing. It's so awesome. So pretty stoked about that. I know this is not the this is not my comic book channel. Love the artwork, Mike. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. I know, right? Am I right? Justin told me that I had to be here today so I could help him tell Mike that he is wrong about whatever. So here I am taking a break from school for this. Better be good. Yeah, Justin.
How goes it?
Better be good, Unicornus.
That's heavy assault unicornus to you, good sir.
Okay, I either have a mosquito bite or a pimple on my back.
Yes.
Can you tell if that's a bite or a pimple?
I cannot.
Can't see it?
I don't think he wants to see
I'm
it.
showing my son. My son is always here.
I don't think he wants to see it. That's a difference.
He said he couldn't see it. All right. Unicorn man. What do you got?
Well, I mean, there's no man in the unicornus, but yes.
Oh, you're
no,
not
so I'm not a half man.
Ace Ventura.
Oh no,
in the unicorn.
No. I have too much self-respect.
Put some alcohol on it. All right, I'm gonna put some alcohol on it.
Just start pouring it down your back like in the shower.
Hold on. I got napkins. My desk is covered in garbage that I use, so there we go.
You don't want garbage napkins going in your body. Yeah. You don't have to let your wife like pop all your pimples and everything for you?
No. So I don't get a lot of pimples, and my wife.
It's because your wife's popping them when you're not awake.
My wife's gonna go hang out on a yacht with her best friend. Well, what's her? Is it her best friend? Is it Jennifer? Yeah. No, wait. It's Katya. It's her other best friend. One of her best friends. Today. So
thanks, Gino. You did your part, I suppose.
Justin is right and Mike is wrong. Guess I've done my part.
I never said Mike was wrong, but yeah.
That's right.
See,
that's why
I am right. He was right. You are wrong. Ha Anyway,
how about Jennifer?
Jennifer. I had come across this video last week.
Whoa. Hey, everybody, are we about equal in volume here? Because he's coming through kind of low, and I always have my speakers set to 50%, so I'm not sure if he's coming in low or if I'm.
Let me see if I have a way.
I just want to know if it's equal.
Is that better? I don't know because I have different settings.
I know. That's why I'm asking the audience. Yeah. So you equal.
So I need to change it back then. Okay.
All right. We'll leave it there, and I'll just turn up my volume.
I moved it.
unless somebody else comes in and they're like,
I mean, I can hear you loud and clear, so I
right.
guess.
Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right. So last week, there was a video that came across my feed. Are you familiar with Brian Holdsworth?
Negative.
He's a Catholic apologist.
No.
All right. So Brian Holdsworth, Catholic apologist. He's always got.
I didn't know Catholics had apologists.
Oh yeah, they do. Trent Horn, Brian Holdsworth. He's not probably as well known as Trent Horn by any means, but there's a fair amount of them. Shameless Popery and whatnot. There's a whole bunch of them.
To point out, by the way, that your profile picture is a bicornice.
It's a shadow, actually, but yes.
No, that's a bicornice, dude.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't find the exact one. This was just one of the first ones that popped up. That's why it's a heavy assault one. I have a backup magazine reload.
Ah, okay, all right.
Yeah. It's built-in double mags. Anyway, Brian...
actually in the Bible... Sorry, I'm spoiling you.
In the Bible, they had AR-15s, but yes.
Ephraim and Manasseh are, I believe, referred to as the big horn and the little horn. I think they're talking about the bicornice.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the two tribes of Israel are actually a unicorn.
A bicorn.
Well, I mean, it's still a unicorn, technically speaking.
Right. And it's interesting because it's like a shell game. When you need 12 tribes of Israel, you either have the tribe of Joseph, or if like the tribe of Dan is missing, then tribe of Joseph becomes the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh.
Well, technically they're both half tribes, so technically speaking, they are technically one.
I know, but when they're doing the tribe count,
Dustin spends time in those rhinos. He says it's kind of hot.
Get rid of one and they split up.
Well, I mean, Benjamin basically gets wiped out anyway, so it's okay.
That's what I'm saying, right? So then you still have 12. Oh my gosh.
Well, if you have two halves, you have only one, which is still 12.
It's like Matthias and Paul. Are there 13 apostles or are there 12 apostles? Depends. Are you counting Matthias?
Does it matter?
Paul?
I mean, if Peter says Paul's an apostle, Paul's apostle. There you go.
Right. But there's only 12 apostles. In Revelation, there's only 12 apostles that are the, what do you call it? The something stone. It's either the archways or the entries or something like that.
I mean, I would argue that Jesus...
There's only 12 apostles. So it's either Matthias or it's Paul. I think it's Paul.
I mean, if another apostle dies, then it technically slides. But
Paul slides in. Jesus handpicks Paul. He didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, let's say they're like, hey, we have Matthias, and then Andrew gets killed off. It's like, well, pull Matthias in. Boom. Now we're at 12. So it depends on which 12, because technically Judas was there, so technically there can't be a Matthias or a Paul.
Well, no,
if you're counting the original 12.
The scripture was right that they were supposed to replace him, or that he was supposed to be replaced, but it was God that was supposed to replace him, not them. That's my take on it. Well, I don't believe Matthias was a.
Tina was gracious enough to point out Brian Holdsworth's YouTube channel in the chat if you wanted to take a gander, but I'll keep it brief.
Will you really?
No, I won't. Sorry, it's not in my nature. He put out this video called, oops, 1 second. Should Catholics listen to heavy metal? And of course, this is near and dear to my heart, as I literally last night came home from a concert, and yes, it was metal, and it was ironically also a full lineup of Christian heavy metal bands, which is very rare nowadays.
Like Striper.
No, it was Demon Hunter, War of Ages, Convictions, and Cultist. But yes, all four are very outspoken Christian bands. They might not necessarily use the label Christian bands, but War of Ages is practically gospel music. Cultist is pretty much the same, and Convictions is hardcore, like what they call kingdom core, which is like Christianity, like it's basically proselytizing through metal, essentially.
Okay.
But yes, so I'm just letting you know.
I'm just gonna have to talk while you talk.
As loudly as possible, I hope. But anyway, so Brian had this video, and he was going on as like, I used to be a metalhead, and then I became a Catholic, and then I was like, is this edifying? Is this kind of music I should be listening to? And my take on it is that most Catholics are like, if it's not Gregorian chant, it's just not. music, and that's typically how it.
I
How it
think
comes
that's inaccurate. How many Catholics have you met?
A few, but I don't
Most
go to the
Catholics don't give one drip or drab a damn about
this
it.
comment section says otherwise, but um, so he's going on, and he's probably a bit more stiffer for most Catholics, at least. Anytime there's an apologist, they're most of the time more like hardcore Catholics. They're not like the average Catholic. So take that as you will. But then he does this whole video, and his conclusion essentially comes down to, you probably shouldn't listen to metal. And I was thinking, that's a curious take. And I listened to the whole thing and everything, and I was like, he seems to be relying mostly on his personal emotional feelings for it. And I was like, that's fine and dandy, but that just sounds like a preference. That doesn't sound like you should do this.
But according to Catholics, if he says enough Hail Marys, then he has the indulgence to do it, right? Oh, there's a Hail Mary right there.
That is actually
JDA, you're Catholic.
He did it 3 times.
You can call in and argue this point if you like.
He did it 3 times. Oh, I don't know if he does.
But yeah, I just saw a post on X about if you like do Hail Marys and stuff, you have indulgences, and I'm like, aren't we not supposed to be getting people to indulgence in? Isn't that the point of Christianity? Not indulgence.
You're not supposed to actively pursue it, is what the whole point is. But yes,
didn't Martin Luther start a whole thing because of indulgences? I mean,
well, that was paid indulgences, but yes.
Oh, this is paid indulgences.
Yeah, it's free for 3 Hail Marys. So, but not being Catholic, I don't particularly prescribe to that type of stuff. But after the video, I did what any normal person does and checked the comment section, because I was really curious, because a large portion of his fan base is, go figure, Catholic, but he's got some Protestants or Eastern Orthodox in there and everything. And ironically, there was a Christian Catholic metalhead guy who's just like, hey, if you ever want to, talk about the topic, sincerely, a Catholic metalhead. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And people all have different takes and whatnot, but a lot of people were pushing it back against that guy. And I always came to the conclusion that when Scripture talks about things we should or shouldn't participate in, it was based off of several things. One was the type of thing that you're trying to participate in. And 2, do you have any level of discernment? So if you have discernment, it's pretty easy to tell that even if you don't feel comfortable with something, you can just choose not to do it. It's pretty cut and dry. But if somebody else does enjoy doing it and they feel it's edifying between their relationship with them and God, then they have the discernment to continue doing it, or to start doing it, or whatever the case might be. So I found it very interesting that somebody could be like, well, I don't think other people should do something because I don't think they should do something.
Yeah, Paul kind of covers this. What is the scripture? It says, what I think is sin, and I do, that's sin. What I don't think is sin, and I don't do. I can't remember the exact. I'm paraphrasing very badly.
I was going to say that doesn't really answer the question.
It's a terrible paraphrase. Well, it's along the lines of, it's like, if you think this is a sin,
if it's something that is a stumbling block for you shouldn't do it.
Right.
And it's the same thing as if it's a stumbling block for somebody else, you shouldn't do it. Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing, though, is that people like to overuse that out of context, because they're like, well, you can't, if this causes your brother to stumble, you shouldn't do it. And I'm like, well, yes, but if there's a woman and there's a man and the man's attracted to said woman, does the woman have to cease to exist in order to not stumble? Like, there's limitations in reality of what you can actually do.
I mean, a practical application of this is like, if somebody's a drinker, I mean, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't. Well, I mean, you shouldn't coax them into doing it.
Crack and open a beer from going, oh, yeah. Oh, it sucks that you can't drink anymore. You know what it is?
Well, it also, and this is
tempt people to sin through your,
but this is
not a sin to you, right?
This is also like the other thing, because like I know, like, obviously, like Gary Nerdrotic, he's a recovered alcoholic,
right?
But he doesn't mind other people drinking. He just doesn't want to do it himself,
right?
So it's like in his situation, it's different than somebody who's actively suffering from alcoholism.
Right.
Because it's like, I should say, somebody suffering from
him,
alcoholism
it's
and
not a
trying to
sin.
stop.
To him, it's just a problem. Right.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like he doesn't feel the urge to go back to it. He has no desire to go back to it. So he's different than somebody who is like on the tipping point of going back into it. So discernment would say, one, you would check with the other one. You'd check with Gary and say, are you okay if I drink in front of you or something? And then he says, sure, then it's not a big deal. He's not gonna feel tempted into it or anything. But if somebody is,
yeah, no, he would. I mean, the first, I don't know why we're talking about this, but the first Geeks and Gamers, I think it was the first one, meetup I was at in San Diego, and they held it at a bar, and neither Gary nor what's his face, Jeremy drink.
Yeah.
But they held it at a bar.
But one, it's probably one of the easier venues to get a hold of. Two, they know a lot of people that do drink, and it also helps them getting access to the bar because the bar wants people to buy drinks and yada yada yada, usual promotional stuff. But it's an easy place where it's like, hey, if you don't want to drink, you don't buy drinks. If you do want to drink, you do drink. It's whatever. They said they also have outdoor areas half the time, so you don't have to even be in the bar to have even the constant temptation of it. You can just hang out, and they'll even come out and hang out with you out there if you're underage and you can't go into the bar.
Okay,
because of
I
age.
think we've driven.
But anyway, yeah. So the discernment concept and the principle concept are one of those heavy utilized ammunition in the discussion in both directions. Now, for metal, it's typically really heavy. Like the sound is a deeper tone. It's pretty standard for metal in general, but they have a variety that you can choose from. And I was like, well, you can't be saying the music in itself, like take the lyrics out and the vocals out. You can't say the music itself is evil because music is literally just sound. Well, we know God created sound. What do you mean no?
I mean, they've done studies on music and what the the tones and the rhythms and all that kind of stuff do to you. Like they ran people through MRIs and that kind of stuff. And different musics do affect people in different ways.
Sure. So well, everyone has you have a different emotional.
You can't just say music is just music. There are different physiological and spiritual effects to music.
Well, I would say that music is all just sound. Some people have good experiences with it, whether you could have happy music, or what's conceived as happy music, but people have preconceived notions that it's happy. People have preconceived notions that metal is angry or evil or whatever. People have preconceived notions that gospel music's just all praise Jesus and nothing else. People have preconceived notions about all types of genres. But the point is that the preconceived notions also lead into it. Like if you have somebody who's never watched a horror film, played a horror game or anything with jump scares, nothing, and you play music from like a movie score for them, they aren't going to have the exact preconceived notions that somebody who's seen that movie is going to have. They're going to say, that's not that scary. It just sounds kind of funny because I'm not familiar with it, as opposed to a person who watches horror films and gets scared very easily. They're going to have a totally different interaction to it if you just play it over speakers and not even watch the movie. They'd be like, oh, shoot, I remember this part of the film or whatever the case might be. But it's a preconceived notion. But it's just sound waves. Now, can somebody feel like sound waves are, whether evil, happy, angry, sad, whatever the case? Sure, you can feel that, but that doesn't mean that the music itself changes. Because I could listen to the same music you listen to, and you could come to a completely different conclusion than I do of what the actual sound is, like how you come across it.
I don't think this is preconception. I think this is there's an actual physiological effect of different types of music and different types of sounds.
Okay, but if you have a physiological effect and I have a physiological effect and they're not the same effect, what does that say?
I'm saying it probably is the same effect.
Well, what
I mean, I don't. I could try to bring up the studies, but then we're going to be sitting here reading studies.
Well, sure. I'm not asking for like super crazy detailed stuff because this is mostly principle in terms of the Christian
I'm just saying it's not just a personal thing. It is they've done studies on different types of music and the physiological, not the emotional, physiological effects.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you listen to metal, you get your blood pumping, you want to headbang, that kind of stuff. You might have the urge to mosh pit or something of that nature, but you can also listen to it and do none of those things. So it's kind of like it's a per person instance whether or not it has a universal physiological aspect to things. Like there's some games where I'll play that are horror and I don't get jump scares or anything. Others, I hear sound and I'm like, I'm out of here because I don't want to be part of it because I know something's around there because some do it better than others, whatever the case might be. Now, I would say that if you're listening to like non-Christian bands and they have a very evil message behind them because one, they're not Christians, and two, they might be active anti-God atheists, their lyrics might be so unedifying and the music matches that in some shape or form. And then that causes you to feel something deep in your gut. Because I've experienced this before. Like there is some music you shouldn't listen to because it's not good for you from a Christian perspective.
Like Two Live Crew.
I don't know what that is. So
King Bob says, technically Mike is correct, but it's not so much type of music and more music theory. Certain chords and progressions tend to have tend to have the same emotional reactions in people.
Yeah.
For example, major chords versus minor chords. Right.
Sure.
Music to me is something almost it is something like spiritual. Like
God created music, so of course it's spiritual.
Right. And I think, I mean, you've heard me say it before. I think, like it goes beyond even the physical, where you can be thinking of a song and someone else will start singing that song because I think it's on another plane. And so I don't know. I'm not telling anybody not to listen to metal. I like listening to metal too, but there is a specific. I don't think I'd want to go. I wouldn't consider it worship. You know what I mean? But
you wouldn't. Would you consider how great they are in death metal considered worship?
I don't think it's musically edifying.
Why wouldn't it be?
It's not uplifting. That's
how do you define uplifting?
Is, right?
Well, edifying in the Christian sense is more about what brings you closer to God.
Like metal makes you want to mosh pit. What you're actually saying is metal makes you want to get violent.
Well, aggressive, not violent, but
aggression is.
Well, aggression can be, but it's the same thing as you can have righteous anger.
There's no aggression part of worship.
Why not? Worship should be just
I'm not
anything.
saying not to listen to it. I don't think it's worship music.
I'm saying, okay, so if we have a praise song at a contemporary church.
Look, I can read a comic book. I can make a comic book, and it's not a worship comic book. But
if you make a comic book about Jesus, is it worship?
If I make it particularly for that purpose,
sure.
Actually, I don't think it's work. I mean, it's for the purpose of spreading the gospel. I don't know if that counts as worship.
Is that edifying?
Because music is part of worship, right? It's like
music is
yes,
part of worship.
It is edifying.
It's not exclusively worship. Okay, so you're telling me that putting pen to paper is edifying, but a sound wave is not because you don't think so, rather than it being principled against.
Well,
God.
I think it's physiologically. I mean, you're the one that said it. It makes you aggressive. What is the aggression principle
you don't
of
have
worship?
To be aggressive. What is the aggression?
I'm just saying, what is the aggression principle of worship?
There is no such principle towards it.
Right.
But what is worship? Worship is anything that is edifying and enclosing the gap of your relationship with God. So if something draws you to God, it's edifying by definition.
Well, it's edifying, but that doesn't necessitate that it's worship.
Is God the purpose?
Everything that is edifying worship. I mean, there's works and there's worship. Worship is it's not.
Well, worship music is not the same as worship. You can worship God without music at all, just like you can do works without any additionals. So,
but that's gosh. If you
go to a church and they're playing worship music, can you not be edified by it?
Greek, I could look it up, but I think Greek, the Greek for worship is like prostrating yourself before.
That's a form of worship, yes, but that's not worship. I mean,
that's like the definition of the word.
Sure. Well, that's how the Israelites used it.
I think it's in Greek too.
I think only the charismatics are the ones who do the prostration. That's mostly because they fell over. in terms of like a principle of discernment on whether something is good or not.
See,
'Cause
that's the thing. I'm not saying good or not. I'm just
Sure.
saying worship or not.
Well, yes, but if something is good and draws you closer to God, you usually, in being drawn closer to God in whatever it may be, you are providing an act of worship in some shape or form. You're giving glory to God through that thing,
Well,
just
see,
like you would for regular
that's
music at a church.
I disagree with that because I don't think, like, I come on here and I do apologetics. I don't think doing apologetics is worship.
Are you glorifying God by spreading the gospel and explaining it to people in detail in ways that might help them understand
Right,
God
but I
better?
don't think that qualifies as worship. I think worship is its
Well, it
own thing.
can. I mean, it depends on the heart. The
You're
heart's
trying to
the ultimate.
shoehorn.
No. I'm saying people are trying to make concepts of God and our relation to Him as a black or white issue rather than a range where you have one side which pulls you away from God and one side that pulls you towards God. The closer you're getting towards God, when you're moving towards God, you're worshiping Him in some shape or form because you're glorifying Him. You're putting Him above your own selfish interests, your own needs that or what you deem to be needs or your own wants or whatever, your own desires, and you're pushing the kingdom for Him because that's a form of worship. There's several ways to worship. King David specifically, worship God by doing what He told him to do, but also by dancing very strangely, partially clothed in front of the Ark of the Covenant on the way to Jerusalem. They're both forms of worship because obedience is greater than sacrifice and all that.
I don't know. I
jazz.
think your definition of worship is just way broader than mine.
But that might be the case. But I'm saying that from what Scripture teaches, it doesn't say it has to be X, Y, or Z, and that's it. And it doesn't have to be black or white. It is or isn't. It can be, what is the purpose? Can you worship God, do your daily chores? Can you praise God at any point in your day? Do you have to be involved with music, prostration, or anything? Is there no other way to do it? And I would argue, no, it's not limited that way. You can worship God in many ways. Now, are there the church's main ways they do things, like whether they have worship music or whether they do prayer, whatever the case might be? There are main ways you can, like, everyone can universally say, oh yeah, I think that would be considered worship. But not everybody agrees that worship would be, I don't know, like the same between everybody.
Let's go. Oops, wrong thing. Agreed with King Bob there.
The reverent love and devotion according a deity, an idol, or sacred object is an option. Ceremonies, prayers, or other religious forms by which love is expressed. Okay, well, other religious forms is pretty broad. Ardent admiration or love, adoration. I'd say all of those pretty much encapsulate the view I take, which you don't have to inherently, like, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not saying you have to agree with me.
Where are you searching? Is that just dictionary?
I just Googled, that's just the Google's dictionary definition.
I like to know what God's meaning is.
Well,
so
but I mean, I could say
I'm going
biblical.
to go to the Hebrew, and then I'm going to go to the Greek, and let's just see what each says.
Let's see if there's a biblical term. Honoring, revering, paying homage to God, recognizing His supreme worth and greatness. Act is not limited to physical postures, but includes a deep, heartfelt devotion that acknowledges God as Creator, Savior, and King. There's a lot of parts to it. There's Shakah.
Right, that's primitive root to depress, to prostrate, especially
to bow down, and Karab, to bring near,
crouch down, humbly beseech, to make obeisance, to reverence, to make to stoop, worship. Yeah, so
proskunue, I probably butchered that one. To worship, bow down. Latrio, to serve and worship publicly. Yeah, they're Greek, I think. That's the New Testament, so I'd assume yes.
But you haven't said this is liturgical versus non-liturgical.
Well, I don't have a problem with liturgical per se. I just have a problem with people utilizing liturgy as a necessity that nothing else counts. Like, I'm going to be so legalistic about my definition to the point where I basically ban all other forms of worship because I don't think they are. And it's like, to me, it's a broader term rather than a smaller term, because in how many ways can you acknowledge God being great
Right.
and everything? Like, every way you do that, it's a matter of the heart
Yeah,
rather than a matter of process.
Right, but that it kind of, I don't want to say it negates the meaning of the word, but it's like when you make everything you do as a Christian into worship.
Well, if you bow down,
I mean, it's funny in a way. Ideally, you'd want to, right? But then what's the point of the word prayer? You say prayer. Let's do prayer and worship. It's like, well, no, that's worship and worship. And it's like,
well, are we talking in modern? Are we talking in modern term, or are we talking in biblical term? Because in modern term, people use them colloquially differently. That's why. They separate, because people think worship, they think music, but that's not inherently what it is, even by the biblical definition.
Everything you do,
if it's
if you're doing it unto
God,
the Lord, if you're doing it unto the Lord,
it's more or less worship. At least from the biblical perspective.
That's fine.
So, in my perspective, when I hear War of Ages singing and they're talking like glory to God and they're like getting the audience pumped out, they're spreading Jesus' love to everybody. They're telling everybody, like, you know, we do this because we love you and we want you to come to Christ. That to me would be considered worship. But not other, I mean, some people might not agree, but I think it'd be strange to be like, okay, well, if I have how great thou art Gregorian chant versus how great thou art in death metal, as if the lyrics have changed somehow magically, and both lyrics are pointing to God and saying God is the great I am. God is, you know, the greatest ever. Like, nothing's changed except the sound. And for some people, the sound
is the sound to you spiritually uplifting?
To me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But somebody made an argument, and this is where the comment section comes. They said the issue with heavy metal isn't just the lyrics; it's the horribly limited emotional gamut. It does anger, hate, and rage well, and that again is not Christian metal. That's just some metal. Not even some non-Christian metal isn't even that way. Some of them just sing about whatever. But these are all anti-Christian for the most part. Well, I don't think anger is anti-Christian, because there's such a thing as righteous anger. There's a righteous thing as righteous fury.
Yeah, but you don't be righteously angry while you're worshiping the Lord.
Well, I mean, if you're pointing it at something wicked, why wouldn't you?
Is that what these worship songs are doing?
I don't know. Maybe there's one out there or not. It's not the ones I typically listen to.
Right.
But the comments were all talking about, like, there's hardly any Christian metal bands. I'm like, I could go on for probably 3 hours just through like a wiki search and find at least probably hundreds and hundreds of them. So people weren't looking very hard, and they kept referencing bands that are notoriously not Christian, that don't have uplifting lyrics in any shape or form. So it's a little weird when people are like, oh, well, I mean, the ultimate argument people were making is that metal is a severe form of emotional music, which is true, because it does sadness, it can do joy, it can do anger, it can do hate. I mean, I would argue worship music could do hate, technically speaking. It's what you're singing. It's lyrics, not the music. But I should say the sound aspect of music.
Worship music can do hate?
If you have words that are talking about hateful things, yeah. Like Westboro Baptist Church has quote unquote worship music, and it's very hate filled. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you could do it, but there's things like August Burns Red has what they call happy metal, and they don't do any rage based stuff. They don't do any hateful stuff. It's ironically very happy metal, but that's just what they term themselves, and that's fine. But to say something is principally scripturally bad and you shouldn't do it, rather than saying, well, the scriptures don't actually say that, but what they do say is use discernment. So if it's not for you, that's fine. If it's for somebody else, don't tell them it's not fine, because in that case, for them, it is edifying. It is pulling them closer to God. Because when I went to the concert last night, we had a whole bunch of people in the crowd going, praise Jesus, and, you know, going like nuts about it. And it's just like, you don't get that if it's not edifying in any shape or form to anyone. That doesn't happen. So I found it to be a little strange that the principles versus the discernment aspect, and I don't know honestly where they get it from, because it sounds just like an emotional plea or an emotional fallacy where they're just saying, I don't like it, it doesn't make me feel good, therefore nobody should have it, nobody should like it, whatever the case might be. But
Okay.
yeah, I know I'm terribly exciting. I apologize.
No, it's not. It's just that I think you've made the point. I'm not really
Okay.
debating it.
Well, I wasn't.
My debate about it.
I was saying more like, what are your thoughts on that view in the church, more or less?
I mean, if you have a church where that's how you brought people in, good. Glory to God.
Japan has a metal church, so there's that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it's like you're not going to have that band at our church because it's like
you never
most
know.
of the people there aren't going to. No, I do know. Now, here's the thing.
Hey,
you might have
God moves in mysterious ways, is Mike.
Right. You might have that band at like a youth group service, right, or something. But you're not going to bring in the band for just like Sunday morning worship. Here we go. You know, it's like.
I mean, if they're real Christians,
you're gonna give people strokes.
Hey, it happens.
All right, but we done, Justin? I got another guest.
Sure. I'll bow out.
All right. Well,
thanks for having me. Later.
Well, that was interesting. Welcome, Brenda Debates. Hello.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
Great. I just popped in because I just kind of randomly clicked on it. It popped up in my feed for somehow, and I randomly clicked on your thing. I am an atheist.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I mean, not wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. No, it is wonderful. I encourage you to consider it.
I was raised agnostic, actually. So
okay,
I did plenty.
What led you? What kind of? Are you a Christian? I take it.
I am.
And what kind of Christian?
I'm a non-denominational, Bible-believing, born-again Christian.
Do you consider that kind of somewhat daunting?
Daunting?
Yeah, Yeah. There's a great deal of scholarship about theology that I would no one person can master. So it would seem to me to be better to be in a aligned in a tradition where there is scholars have gone before you to solve problems, and but apparently you have to solve them all on your own.
I'm perfectly capable of
daunting.
reading. I'm perfectly capable of reading and studying other people's thoughts and debates and whatnot. I can't stand on the shoulders of giants. I know there's guys in the chat here who are very, very all about that, but I think I can read the Bible and I can tell what it says and I can go to the original languages and figure out what it means and I think iron sharpens iron. If I have a question about something, I can ask other Christians who are better studied at the history of the church and the history of doctrine and dogma and all that kind of fun stuff. But no, I don't think I need to bow down at the feet of some pope or church leader or anything like that to
so you think that's about submission?
No, it's not submission. It's like the Bible is God's word. I don't need someone else to tell me what the Bible says unless there's something in the Bible that I don't quite understand.
You phrased referring to other scholars in the field as bowing down, which sounds to me like
it's a euphemism.
It means submission. And it seems to me like that is an immature, intellectually immature response, right? I defer, for instance, in physics to physicists. I don't think that I'm bowing down to a physicist if I defer to his knowledge, which is greater than mine about physics. I don't
Sure.
have a degree in physics. So I that's sort of my point here, which is that you should not consider it bowing down to refer to a scholar who knows more than you. You probably, I doubt that you
I've
speak.
often deferred to scholars that know more
Yeah,
than me. It's just that I don't
yeah,
need to. I don't need a pope to tell me what the Bible says.
uh-huh.
I don't need a religion
It
to,
still
or a
seems to be,
specific religion to tell me
yeah,
what I can read. I have eyes and I have a brain and I'm fairly
yeah.
intelligent. So
It
I
still
can
seems
figure out.
rooted to me in this kind of attitude of rebelliousness.
I disagree.
Yeah, you just said you don't need a pope. Maybe you
All right.
do need a pope.
Why would I need a pope?
I don't know. Maybe he knows more than you do.
Maybe I know more than he does.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it though.
I might be older than the current pope, and I might have been studying the Bible longer than him. So, how do you know?
Do you speak do you speak the original language?
Does he?
Yes, I'm
He
sure he
speaks
does.
Hebrew and Greek.
Yes, I'm sure that they do. That would be like
You're
something
sure,
that
or you know?
I don't know.
Okay, well then don't make the claim.
Do you?
No, but I can read the
Then
Blue Letter Bible, and I can go to the original
yeah,
languages, and I can see what
right.
each word means in context.
So when you're reading a translation that's been translated for you,
Mm-hmm.
you are bowing down to the translator, aren't you?
Well, I am using their work. Yeah.
Well, you're bowing down to them.
Well, I'm not bowing down.
Of course you are. You need them to tell you what to do, what to think. They're telling you
No,
what to think.
no.
They pick. They
I read their
pick.
translation. If I have an
Yeah,
issue, if I have a question about the translation, I go to the
but
original
but
languages.
you're not
The
capable of
definition.
doing that, though.
I
You're not
am capable.
capable.
So there's a thing called a concordance or a word study, or you can go to a site called Blue Letter Bible. It will take you to each individual word, what the
Uh-huh.
original word in the original language means, the various
Yeah.
possibilities of what it may mean in that context. It'll give you, it gives you all kind of great information on
Right.
every single word. And am I
Right.
perfect in my total understanding? No. Is anybody?
So I can cite
Anybody?
constants and variables in physics. That doesn't mean I know physics.
Okay.
And you can cite individual words. You can look them up in a dictionary. It doesn't mean you know the language.
It means I know the meaning of the word.
No, you don't, because the
Yes, I do.
meaning can't be abstracted to exist on its own. It exists within the context of the
Correct.
language. That's
Right.
why
I
there are
understand
many
that.
different translations
I
that
can understand context too.
no, you can't because you
Yes,
don't
I
know the
can.
language. You don't know the language.
Yes, I can, because I can understand every single word from the original language,
Yeah, that
and then
won't
I
give
can
you the
string it
context.
together into the context.
Yeah, that won't give you the context.
Yes, it does.
No, I can string
What do
symbols
you
and
think
constants of
context
physics together.
means?
It won't give me the
Oh,
context.
that's great. You keep talking about physics as if that has anything to do with language.
It's an argument by analogy, dude.
I know, but it's a very bad analogy.
I think it's a perfectly good analogy because
Well,
math
yeah,
is
but
the
you're wrong.
language of physics. So my point
That's
is
why lexicons exist. He doesn't know what lexicons are, buddy.
right. So it doesn't matter. You're not an expert. Why are there multiple translations of the texts, the holy texts?
Why are there? Because people
Yeah,
have disagreements on, or people want, well, first of all, there's word for word translations, there's thought for thought translations, they're combinations of the both. There's modern translations, there's earlier Old English translations. Obviously, there's translations into different languages. So there's a myriad
right.
different reasons why there are different translations. What's your actual question?
Well, why do they exist?
Well, what's your point of asking?
Well, if you have access to the original meaning, there can only be one translation.
Well, no, as much as you can translate a word into different ways. And yeah, I think there's better translations and there's worse translations. Some people do want a thought for thought translations, which deviate significantly from the original language. but tries to get to the original intent
That's-
of the language by the people who do actually understand
That's
those languages. But
just
I prefer a word for word translation because I think
yeah.
that's more important than
Yeah, but why should anybody care what your opinion is?
why should you care what my opinion is?
Because no, the point is that your opinion, your preference is subjective. It's not based on the language. It's
My
based on
preference
your
is to
personal
try to
preferences.
understand what the original language means.
Yeah, but you have a filter that you pass it through, which is, why is there a difference between the King James and say the Revised Standard?
Because we don't
Why
speak Old
do
English anymore.
why? Yeah, well, the King James is recognized by scholars as being a bad translation. They didn't actually. They
There's no
didn't
such,
have. Excuse me.
there's no such
Excuse
thing as a
me.
perfect translation.
Yeah, but it's a bad translation because
No, it's not.
they didn't. Yes,
It's
because
very
they
nearly
didn't.
word for word.
Because they didn't understand Koine Greek very well back then.
Okay, it's very close to word for word.
It has some very bad
It
translation
has
in it.
some bad translation.
Yes,
That's true.
that's why it's generally depreciated for
Okay, but
scholars today.
there's no perfect translation. That's why I say
That doesn't mean
that's why
it
I
can't
say
be
when I
better.
have a question about what it means, I go to the original language.
But you don't speak the original language.
No, but I can look what the original language means. Why don't
Yes,
you
that
understand
doesn't
this?
give you because that doesn't give you insight into the meaning.
Yes, it does.
So you
What are you
claim
talking about? Going to the original language and figuring out what the original word means in the original context of the original language doesn't give you the meaning of what it means.
That's
what
right.
planet do you live on?
The real world where languages
Clearly
are
not.
very complex. So I could give you words. You can laugh. So I could give you words in, say, French. You could look up the meanings of the words, but you're not going to understand the context.
You can understand context. What are you talking
You're
about?
not going to get it simply from word by word translations. You're not. It's simply not going to happen.
When you translate each word into the meaning, it gives you the context of the sentence.
No, it doesn't. No, the context is the culture. You need to understand, for instance,
you're talking about culture. Okay, I got you. All right, I understand more of what you're saying now.
words only have meaning in as much as they reflect the user's intent, which is going to be reflected in their culture. And that is something you're not going to know when you don't know the language.
Well, hold on a second. Language doesn't matter. Now you're talking about culture, right? We speak English. The English speak English. Lots of people around the world speak English, but they speak it through different cultures. So,
Yeah.
are you sure you're using the word culture correctly?
Yeah.
Or is that just the word culture by the definition of your culture?
There's no such thing as a correct meaning to a word. Words are used. They don't possess some sort of
So
objective
words
meaning.
don't have meaning?
That's not what I said.
It literally is what you just said.
No, it's literally not what I said.
I'm going to bring Lou in because he's on your side.
Try to follow.
Lou, can you follow what this guy's saying?
Words have use, not an intrinsic objective meaning. Right?
Do you agree with that, Lou?
I don't know. I haven't been following it all. I
You said words don't have meaning.
I
did not say that. Stop lying about me.
You literally just said it.
No, that's not what I said.
Literally just said that.
Repeat my words back to me, please.
Words have use. They just don't have intrinsic meaning. Those are the words you
Right.
said. In other words, words don't have meaning.
No, intrinsic means what is that? What does that mean when I say words don't have intrinsic meaning?
Their own internal.
That's right. They have meaning that is the intent of the user. They have user meaning.
Right. Oh, I see where you're going. So unless you're communicating by telepathy, you can never understand exactly what I mean.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works. I can understand it because I can
How
understand the
can you
general
understand it? I'm
context.
using words.
Because
But you don't know
we
what
have
the
we have a
intrinsic meaning
shared.
of my words is. What I'm
We have
thinking in my head might not be what's coming out of my mouth exactly.
That's
because I don't
true.
have,
That's
because the
true.
words don't have intrinsic meaning.
Yeah, that's true. You could mean something else, right? It might be a little bit fuzzy, but generally, if I say that's a rabbit, and the guy next to me says "gavagai," do we mean the same thing? Possibly, possibly not. Right? So
Does it
he says
matter what I
he
say? Because
points.
he can't understand.
So
what
he
I'm saying,
points.
because I'm using
I'm
words that
going
don't have
through.
intrinsic meaning.
I'm going through first year stuff. So the person I'm talking to, I'm
So
trying to
did you
learn.
learn all this in college?
I'm trying to teach you. So I'm trying to learn somebody's language.
Someone
And a
has
rabbit goes,
convinced you that words don't mean things. It's
yeah.
This is insanity.
His name was
Can you tell me, what
Wittgenstein.
is a woman?
A human, a mature human female.
Oh, see, words do have meaning.
No, they don't.
Oh my god.
They
Lou,
have
help me.
usages.
Lou, you're on
Right.
Brandon.
So can I finish my
You
sentence?
not?
Can I finish? Can I
Okay,
finish
I'm gonna
here?
give you 30 seconds. Go.
Right. So if I meet somebody, they speak a language. I don't know their language. They're trying to teach it to me. A rabbit runs by. They point to the rabbit and say "gavagai." I infer that they mean rabbit, but I could be wrong. It's called the indeterminacy of meaning. Right? They could simply mean undisconnected rabbit parts. They could mean something else, right?
Mm-hmm. They could
So
mean fur.
so
They could mean
so
grunt. They could mean
so
animal.
right. So words are indeterminate, right? And we have common usage in which we make inferences based on a shared community, right? A shared culture, right?
Mhm.
So today, woman includes people who are transgender, like myself, right?
No,
So that's what the
because
word
words have
means. Because
meaning.
no, they don't. No, you're falling back to the their. Suppose I'm
You don't even recognize how ridiculous you sound. Lou's on your side, and he thinks you're ridiculous.
Yeah, argument from incredulity. That's a fallacy too. You're just incredulous.
Everything you're saying is a fallacy.
Sure, go ahead, name it for me.
It's the Brenda debates fallacy.
Yeah, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. So what is the P and not P?
Wait.
What is the P and not P?
Huh?
What is the P and not P?
You mean in logic? I think cannot
You
be
said
and not be at the same time.
you said the things I said are fallacious, right? Something is fallacious.
Brenda, do you know what a joke is?
So something is so it's not true that everything I say is fallacious.
Right. It's called a joke.
So it's not true that what I'm saying is fallacious.
You know what a joke is, right?
Yes, I do, and I'm pressing you to say.
Can you tell me what a joke is?
Are you gonna go back and retract what you said?
No, because it was a joke.
Yeah, so I can just disregard it. So what I've said is not fallacious.
That's right. You cannot get all hung up on me making a joke. Yes, please.
Yes. You're not a serious man. Right.
So you're not a woman. So what do you want?
No, I am in today's culture.
I live in the real world. Whatever happened to believe the science?
Whatever.
Do you believe in science, Brenda?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then you're not a woman.
No, the science says I am.
No.
Yes, it does.
Science does not.
Yes, it does.
Your DNA proves you that you're not a woman.
Yeah, that's not what the science says. By the way. My DNA proves that I'm transgender.
No, it doesn't. That's a mental health.
Yes, it does. No, it's not.
You're mentally ill. It's okay.
No, it's not a mental illness.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, when your mental brain function tells you something opposite of reality and you accept it, that's called mental illness.
Yes, but the reality is that I'm
you're
transgender.
a man.
No, it's that I'm transgender.
You're a man.
It's that I'm
You're an
transgender.
adult human male.
And no, the
Yes.
reality
Now
is
you're not an adult human male?
correct. I am a transgender woman.
You're an adult human male.
I am a transgender
What is a
woman.
male?
Yeah.
What is
So
a male?
so you're gonna.
You could tell
We're
me
just
what a
not
female
going
is.
to agree
Tell
with
me what a
this.
male is.
Let's
According to
just.
science, what is a male, Brenda?
I think we should drop this and go back to religion, something that you
This is your
possibly know.
religion.
But what is the difference between sex and gender, Mike?
Gender is a made-up word. Sex is a biological reality.
Yeah. So before you were harping on about dictionaries, is that what I will find if I look in the dictionary?
I don't know. I haven't read the dictionary definition.
You haven't checked the dictionary to see if there's a
I know that
distinction
gender
between
is a
sex
word.
and gender.
How old is the word gender? Like 80 years old, something like that. But sex
So
is
you don't actually know. You don't actually know this. You're ignorant.
Human and
Ignorant
scientific
because
reality.
you're
The
ignorant of
reality
the
of all of
science.
the biological
You're
world.
ignorant. You're ignorant,
No,
but
I'm
you
not.
want to
You're
you want to
delusional.
pontificate.
You're
You want to
delusional.
pontificate
I'm
that
sorry,
there's
Brenda.
no such thing as gender. You want to
Sorry, Brenda.
pontificate.
You are delusional.
Gender. Go look it up in the dictionary. Google it. Look it up at Wikipedia. What will it say? And what's wrong with that?
Seriously,
It's an online encyclopedia, dude.
It's an online encyclopedia that can be edited by literally anybody. You
Yeah,
could
and
go on
it's
there
more
and put
accurate.
gender is what I
Yes.
decide it is.
Fine.
And then go, let's go look up Wikipedia because I just changed the definition of gender to be what I want it to be.
Yeah, that's not how Wikipedia works.
You're an unserious person.
Yeah, you're then fine. Look it up in Encyclopedia Britannica. That's also online. You can look it up there. Okay. And it will not support your position. Your position is scientifically illiterate. Just as you are illiterate, right, about the original language, but you're so arrogant that you think you know better than scholars.
What depends on the scholar.
You're arrogant. You're an arrogant and ignorant fool.
And you're a man.
Good job. Good job there,
Brenda.
buddy.
Brenda.
Fuck off.
Mike.
Oh.
I wanted to talk to Brenda.
Brenda doesn't want to be here anymore. How you doing, Lou? It's good to see you.
All right. Well, Mike, you do pick and choose your definitions. You do that all the time.
Everybody does.
Oh, I'm saying you do that.
Right, because I'm human and everybody does.
But there is a meaning to the word gender. That is
right, but the word was made up.
Every word is made up.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, sex is like math. There's a male and there's a female. You can call it sex. You can call it blabbity blue. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a pre-existent reality. Gender is made up.
Gender is a word in the English language, and it has a meaning. So she could legitimately and is, I'm going to accept her testimony.
Mental illness.
She is transgender. It's not made up. She didn't make that up. All right. So I didn't call to talk about.
But she is an adult human male.
She has a gender that
she
is
defines
a woman.
Adult human.
She's
defines
a woman.
She is the pronoun for females.
Gender, and that's the meaning of the word gender.
See, that's the thing, right? Lou. You called me a bigot yesterday because I accept reality.
No, Mike. Listen.
Reality.
Let me.
For all of human history, all of animal history,
Mike.
There's male, there's female, and there's a few weird hermaphroditic things out there.
I didn't call in to argue about transgender. That's not why I called in.
Hey, Lou, before you make that point, can you tip your fedora? Like, but Mike, I kind of agree with Brooklyn Lou here because he wasn't claiming to be a woman. She was claiming to be transgender every time she said it, but she did get angry. Wait, Lou.
Why don't we just
she did get angry.
Transgender.
or he, whatever, got angry every time you pointed out the facts, right? So Lou, Lou's correct in that, but Mike's also correct, because why respond or get heated when Mike is saying something else? Why not just point that out? Hey, you're saying something else. I'm saying this.
They were both talking past each other. That's what was going on. I mean, that's reality of what was
couldn't
happening.
Well, you said that. Now you say that. Earlier you were saying.
I was dying.
Yeah, okay,
Lou, I'll agree with you.
Accept the
I'll
word
agree with
gender, and you want to pretend
he was
it's
transgender.
not a word.
All right,
go ahead.
transgender is a word that
Yes.
people use to define their mental illness.
No, that's not what it means.
Yes, it is.
No,
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Look up the word gender.
Transgender is another word for gender dysmorphia.
He's accepting your point.
You're just
He's accepting your point.
What, Brooklyn,
the word gender has a meaning.
Hold on. Does
say
gender
it's a
dysmorphia
mental
no
illness.
longer
That's not what it
exist?
is.
Does gender dysphoria no longer exist?
The word gender has nothing to do with the term dysphoria. That's a completely different. You're talking about a word, gender.
No. I'm talking about the mental illness known as gender dysphoria. Does that no longer exist?
It has been reclassified. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Transgender.
It's been.
I don't know what to. You know what's going on, Lou?
I guess you don't accept psychiatry and psychology. You don't accept anything. I don't even understand why.
Wait. Lou, you just replaced Brenda. You just replaced Brenda. You both are talking past each other again.
Well, I didn't call a talk about it.
If you saw that for
Brenda, we're over time.
I did not
I'm gonna clear the plate.
I did not call Mike. I did not call Mike to talk about transgender. That's not what I called for.
Kirby, stop. Okay, clear the plate. I'm over time. I'm going to give you a little extra time, Lou. What you got?
Listen,
Mike. Go, Lou.
I called not to talk about transgender.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
let me tell you why I called.
We're going to clear the transgender off the table.
I didn't call about transgender.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to stop talking about that.
It's the fedora.
I'm giving you the tape. I'm giving you the mic.
Mike.
Yes.
You have said numerous times about me. Mm-hmm. You have commented numerous times that I am angry at God because something happened in my life. Mm-hmm. All right. That's the biggest hunk of shit I've ever heard.
Ooh, language,
right?
Come on, you know the
because
show.
let me tell you why. All right, because you're talking about me. All right, I'm not angry at God. No Christian has ever hurt me. All right, I didn't go to a church that I felt bad about. All right, I never looked at God and was, I hate you, God. None of that ever occurred, and yet you continue to push something you think, instead of asking me directly, you just continue to say, I'm mad at God. All right. Well, it's bullshit, Mike. It's absolute bullshit. I have no anger with God. I have family members, including a direct child who is a pastor. Okay. So stop the shit that I'm mad at God. All right, none of that is true. All right, so why, if you want to talk, then talk truth. If you want to know if I'm mad at God, ask me.
Okay, did something happen when you were a Christian? Did something happen to you, or did something happen to someone that you love that you that you felt was a failure of God to answer your prayers? And
no, nothing. I did not. Nothing has ever happened to me where I got angry at God or Christian people. Never. Okay. All right. In fact, my apologies. Okay, and I accept that.
Because it's just from stuff I heard you say on your own show and sometimes in the chat that led me to think that something like that did happen to you. And look, I've had friends. Their mom, my friend Jim, his mom died when he was 10 years old, and that was it for his. He became an atheist for the rest of his life. And I've had other friends. They go through stuff, and it didn't work out. That parents got divorced, someone got cancer, this, that, the other, and they just got.
That's not me.
Ultimately, right. But that's what I'm saying. So I've listened to your channel, and there's times when you seem to allude to something like that having had happen. So that's why.
I don't know what I don't know what I said that made you think that, but
Okay.
I've heard you multiple times say that I'm angry at God.
Right. That was my reason. And if I'm wrong, then I apologize. I won't say that anymore.
Okay. I just wanted to clear up. My experience with Christian churches was positive. Okay. So I want that. You got to hear that and register in you. I didn't have negative experiences with Christian churches.
Okay.
All right. My channel is about criticizing religion, not a church I went to, not a family member I know who is Christian, not you, Mike. It's not about you. All right. It's about a religion. Okay. And that religion never hurt me personally. All right. And God never certainly hurt me. I don't believe God exists. How in the hell can he hurt me?
Okay. I don't know. You said you were studying to go into ministry?
No. I have studied the Bible for 40 years, Mike. I could talk to you about Isaiah 53 all day. All right. That's not what I
went through that yesterday.
All I called to do was to tell you I'm not angry at a God. I'm not mad at Christians. All right. I have an opinion that I am willing to state. Okay. And I'm outspoken now. I was invisible online until recently. Okay. And I'm going to speak my mind regardless of people. Sure. And I don't serve atheists. I don't serve men. All right. None of that shit is me. All right. So if you want to know about me, then ask me and I will tell you the truth.
Okay. Right? How come you turned away from Christ?
I found out. Now I'm glad. I'm going to get serious with you for a minute. Okay. Now that that's over. Okay. All right. The reason I turned away from Christ or Christianity is because I studied for about 3 years independently of going to Christians to tell me what things meant. All right. I looked into things for myself, and eventually, over time, the doctrines of Christianity fell one at a time until I came to a point where I no longer believed it. That's it. I didn't hate anybody. I didn't get angry at anybody. All right. I just simply did not believe it anymore. So that's it.
You fed your doubts.
What's that?
You fed your doubts.
I had doubts from time to time, but I would brush them aside because I wanted to live my life for Christ. All right. I dedicated my life to Christ when I was in my mid-20s, although I was Christian my whole life, but I made a dedicated commitment. And I followed through on that commitment for a while, quite a while. I lived as a Christian. Mm-hmm. I raised children essentially as a Christian. My oldest, definitely as a Christian. And my youngest, half and half, because I was changing.
Okay? Are they good people?
My children, yeah, I think they're terrific people.
Okay, if they're good people, would you attribute that to raising them Christian or no?
No. I think I raised them right. My oldest is devout Christian. Okay, so I don't have Christian.
You understand the question, right, Lou? Right?
Yes, I did. If you're saying, do I think that they're good people because they were Christian? No,
because you raised them Christian, not because they're Christian.
No.
You just said you raised them right, and you said you raised them Christian.
No,
you didn't understand the question.
Yeah. You know, you guys.
Lou, what is 2 + 2 right now?
Listen. This is dumb. All right, you like
that
dumb conversation.
That's what you said.
Dude,
listen to me. All
Well,
right.
you hear us
You
giggling
were
and
just
laughing, right?
being
We're trying
ignorant
to.
and stupid, like the
Well,
lady,
how
like
is
the
it ignorant and
woman who
stupid?
said that you were being. All right. I am saying that raising a child has a
Yes,
whole lot more to do with a lot of things, not just what religion you believe in. All
but
right. I
religion
raised my
encompasses
children.
a lot
I
of raising
raised
a
my
child.
children
Hold on, Lou. Let me
in
ask you
a
real quick.
church environment, but
Right.
at the same time, I also taught them other things. So it wasn't
Uh,
Right, but
just
where did
religion
they
they
get
were
their
exposed.
morals and values, Lou?
What's that?
Where in their upbringing did they derive their morals and values?
They derived their morals and values ultimately for themselves. One of them
As you raised
chose.
them Christian.
One of them chose Christianity. One of them did not choose Christianity. They both are very good human beings.
According to?
Any standard that I could put on them. If they weren't,
Well,
I'd
you
let
can't
them
do that
know.
because everyone has
If
different
my
standards.
children are doing something wrong, I will let them know. All right. But it's not wrong that my youngest doesn't believe in the fairy tale. That's not wrong to me. All right. But my oldest believes in something, a fairy tale, and that's okay with me. All right. Because that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that they're good human beings. Whether they're Christian, whether they decide to
All right,
be
we're gonna
a
get into the
different
whole
religion.
thing
uh,
about
whoa,
defining
I,
good outside of the
I,
outside of the objective.
I'd like to say something. Like Lou, we can't test otherwise, though, right?
What do you mean?
Because we can't go back in time and
Well, yeah, I can't
raise
change how
them
I brought my
Muslim or
kids up.
anything like that and see what happens. But the facts you laid out for us is that you raised them in a Christian
Well, yeah, I
environment.
brought my children up like every
And
other father does.
No, you
and
didn't. My father raised me as an
So
agnostic,
there
which
you
is how you
go.
hold
So
on.
why are you? Are
Hold
you a
on.
good person, Mike?
Hold on. I wasn't when I was an agnostic.
well, you
Yes,
said
I was
they
not.
were a
Agnostic.
good
Lou,
person.
Okay.
you
All
can
right.
ask anybody
Listen,
who knew me
it's
in high
ignorance.
school.
You
I was
think
not a good
agnostic.
person
So now
because
we
I
have
was
we're to
raised
think.
agnostic. No,
So
Lou, no.
now
This is
we
a
are to
very,
think
very
agnostic
fundamental. This is
means
a very,
bad person.
this is a very,
What the
very
heck is
fundamental
wrong
point.
with you?
One at a time.
This is a
One at a
fundamental
time.
point. I was raised how you would choose to raise your kids now, right? Agnostic,
No,
atheist.
if I were to be raising my children now, which I'm not, okay, but if I was,
We
I
understand
would,
that.
as far as religion, I would tell them I don't believe in it, but if you want to check it out for yourself.
That's what my dad said.
So that's it. So what?
So
What
you
does
would have
that
raised
mean?
me.
Was your dad a good person?
Well, he
You're
left my
stuck on
mom,
that? Are you
Well,
destroyed our
maybe he
stuck on
family.
that?
wasn't.
You want
Are
me
But
to
you
go?
I
stuck
What?
on
raised
that?
You want
my
me to go through the
kids.
personal
I
trauma?
raised
You want
my
me to go through the
kids
personal
with the
trauma, Lou?
religion that I thought was good, and
And
I
you
don't
raised
regret
good
that.
kids because of it. My
I don't
dad was
regret that.
stop, Lou. My dad was you. If you had raised your kids like me,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been good people.
Okay.
You know why?
As per
Because when
you, the
no,
same
because you
person,
know,
the
Lou,
same person
there's no objective truth, right?
who tells
There's
people
no
what they
objective morality,
think.
right?
You're
There's
the
no
same
objective morality,
person.
right?
Now you're going to say
Lou,
you tell people what
is
they
there an
think.
objective
You
morality?
apologize for that. I accept
Lou.
your
Wait,
I
apology.
already
wait,
did.
wait.
That's water under the
Are
bridge.
you hearing
Is
each other? Come on.
there objective morality or not?
You want to talk about morality? I do not think there is objective morality.
Right. That's the conclusion. And that's what I was taught as an agnostic. I'm telling you, dude, you're talking like my dad. And when I reached the point where I understood what there's no objective morality, that means that my choices are I can do whatever I want as long as I don't get caught. That's
Sorry
the
you
law.
felt that way,
That's
Mike.
the rule. That's how it breaks down, man.
Well, it
That's how
doesn't
I
break
grew
down with
up.
me.
And that's
all
what
right?
I did.
I don't personally believe in objective morality. It's not an
Right.
issue. Hold on. It's not an issue that I put much priority in, because if you believe in objective morality, that's fine with me. I don't
Right.
care.
But here, Lou,
All right. But
look, I want
I
you.
don't personally
I get it. I
believe
get
in
it.
that.
I'm
And
trying
guess
to.
what? And
Lou,
guess
can you
what?
pause?
I live fine, and I don't go out and sin, and
I
don't
know
go
you
out
don't.
and hurt
You know why,
people.
Lou? Because you were raised Christian.
Oh my gosh.
I was raised agnostic. I was raised the way
Okay.
you would now
Okay.
choose to raise your children. And that's why the sins of the father are visited upon the next generation
Oh
and the
my
next
gosh.
generation and the next generation.
Look. You can believe whatever you want. All right.
I lived
don't
it.
care what you believe.
I lived it.
Right? I don't care. All right. I believe what I believe. You shouldn't care. You shouldn't give a shit what I believe. All right.
I'm just glad
it
you raised
doesn't
your kids
matter what I
Christian.
believe. The only thing you should be concerned about is if I'm coming and doing something bad to you or other human beings. That's it. It's not your business what I believe. It doesn't even
Wait,
matter.
Lou. Wait.
Now I put
Do
it
you
out
do
there.
you
You
do you
came
put
on my
yourself?
channel.
Yeah,
came
you
on my
put
channel
yourself
to
out
tell me
there,
what you
That's
believe.
right. And
right?
So how
And
is
then
it
you
that you're making it my
come
business? You're
you
making
come
it my
into
business.
think
Mike's
I give a flying shit
circle.
what
You
some
come into
Christian-
Mike's circle, and
what
then
some Christian
you get
or
upset.
Muslim think
Oh,
about
God.
what I think. You're mistaken. All right. I'm telling
You sound
you
pretty upset.
because we started this
Are they good
conversation.
people?
We started this conversation with Mike apologizing, and I said, okay,
You did.
I accept your
That's very
apology.
sweet.
All right, now we moved on to where you're now going to tell me again things that I think. All right, instead of asking
We're not
me.
telling you.
I'm not
We
telling you what
asked
you
you.
think.
Okay,
You're
I
telling
told
us.
you, I told you, I do not believe in objective morality.
I know.
Now
All
you're
right.
saying because I don't believe in objective morality,
Uh-huh.
this is harmful to people. Bite
No.
my ass. It's not harmful, and you know.
No.
It
Okay.
is
No,
not
he-
harmful.
Once again,
What the hell?
once again,
Now you're
let's
telling
cycle-
us what he.
Let me cycle through this one more time.
Go ahead.
Thank God you raised your kids Christian,
No,
like
I don't
you
thank
were
God
raised.
for that. I thank
Like
myself.
you were raised.
I thank myself for raising my kids. I do not thank the imaginary character in the sky.
Because you were
Not
raised
what I'm
damn.
doing.
Christian,
Insults.
you have a better
You're so
moral
angry.
foundation than I had because I was raised agnostic.
I don't know what your father told you. If
You
he's
sound
agnostic,
just like him.
okay, he was agnostic. Okay. You still made decisions for yourself, right?
Right. You
All
sound
right.
exactly
Well,
like him. You're practically
whether
quoting
I
him,
told
dude.
my kids a fairy tale or not, they still ultimately made decisions for their own. And I
Because you
respect
raised
their
them
decisions.
Christian.
I told you my second was half and half. My
At least
first
he
was,
had half, or she had half.
because it's different
I had
age
nothing.
groups.
I had what you have now. Nothing.
Okay. What is the point? That I can't raise children if I'm an atheist? What's wrong with
Oh,
you?
you can raise them.
He's
So
offended.
then what are
They-
you talking about? What
they
is
won't-
the point?
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Because if you raise them with no objective moral foundation, they will live their lives as if there is no objective moral foundation.
And so what? All right. I don't believe in any objective moral foundation, and I
Yes.
don't do things.
But-
I'm not. Listen
gosh,
to me.
again, Luke,
I'm not struggling
we
with
get it.
pornography like half the men I knew in church.
So,
I'm not
so
doing
Lou,
that. All right?
so
I'm
Lou,
not struggling
Oh my gosh,
with
Lou,
robbing
you're not
people.
listening.
I'm
You're
not
so busy talking
struggling
about-
with any of that.
so Lou,
So what is
do
your
what
point?
I
Because-
will, right?
You were raised Christian, therefore you have an ingrained moral outlook.
No, Mike. No.
You inherited the morality
No.
of Christianity. Yes,
I
you did.
changed myself and created the view that I do not believe in objective morality. And since I've done that, I have become a better moral person. Now,
Oh,
that
yes.
doesn't
You
mean,
can't claim that because morality is subjective.
oh my gosh. Look,
Only-
if you wanna,
only in
I've
your
told
subjective
you many
opinion-
times, Mike.
Only in your subjective opinion have you become
Listen.
a subjectively better moral person.
Listen,
So
You can't-
Lou,
You can't
I will
claim you're
say
better.
you got me heated up. I will say
are
that.
you a good person, Lou?
Yeah, I'm a very good person.
according to Lou.
And according to many people.
Well, according to pretty much everybody, I'm a better person as a Christian than I was an agnostic. So
Okay, but
that's
you.
it. That's it.
Your
We're 20 minutes
experience.
over. This is way too much
If you
fun.
want
My
to
cheeks
debate,
are
Mike,
Sure is fun.
hold on.
It was fun day.
Hold on.
All right, go.
Right, and then I'm gonna shut up, and you can make fun at me because
I'm not making
somehow
fun of you.
think that makes you.
I love
better.
you, Lou. I don't want to.
Like,
It's just.
you're not better than me, Mike. What's wrong
But
with
he didn't
you?
say that.
What is
He
wrong
said-
with you?
He said he is a better person than he was. He
And
did
I'm
not
a
bring you
better
into it. You
person
inserted yourself
than I
into that right
was.
now.
And I'm a better person
Right.
than I was when I was a Christian. Because you know what Christianity did to me? All right.
What it did to you, Lou?
Never enabled me to take full responsibility for my own behavior because I was always scapegoating and saying, oh, well, I could never be a good person. Praise Jesus, he died for me because I'm so freaking wicked. All right. And all that did for me was not anything good. It made me worse. All right.
How?
I've become a better person because I am responsible for my own behavior and I behave good because I want to.
Good
That's
in what sense?
I'm not under the authority and rule of a sky, an imaginary being in the sky. All right. I
So
live
in
in
other
reality.
words, you can do whatever you want. As long as
Of course I do whatever I want, and it's good.
There we go.
And it's good.
Thank you, Lou, for expressing exactly
now,
what I said.
Mike, before you got me.
You sound pretty angry at God for
Listen,
insulting.
listen, Mike, you did get me heated up, okay? Because you laugh at people. All right. Now, if you want a serious debate, listen to me, Mike. I have challenged you to a debate. Objective ethics, I know, challenge you to a debate, and all you do is laugh.
Because I'm not a debater. I'll get
I
on here and
know.
I'll
So then
have a
take your
discussion.
non-debate, never talk intellectual, and run your shit the way you want to run it. But don't talk trash about me. Okay?
I'm not talking
because
trash.
I will come back and talk trash about you like you never seen before.
How am I talking trash?
You never seen. Put him up.
I legitimately apologize for what I got wrong. How am I now talking trash? I think you're misunderstanding half of what I'm saying.
Well, I am heated. Okay, and I admit
you are
that.
heated. You are heated, Lou.
I love you, Lou.
When
I love talking
someone
to you.
sits here
But you need
and
to
dictates to
take
me
a couple
what
breaths.
I am all about, shit, you have no idea what I'm about. You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea about anything, but you certainly have a big mouth. All right, and let me tell you something. All right, right now, I'm telling you. All right, I am a very, very nice guy. All right, and I will debate you anytime on any issue, and I will be quiet and intellectual and all that stuff. But if you think that I'm weak, you ain't ever known me.
Why are you making all of these assumptions about what I think?
Because you do the same thing about me. All right. Let's ask questions then. Let me simmer
I
down.
did, and fair enough. And I apologize for it, Lou. Are you gonna just hang this around my neck for the rest of the time?
Man, Mike?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right.
No.
Why would you think that I thought that?
Okay. Because you say things, all right. You say things that make me think that. All right.
Make you think that.
Hold on.
You gotta unwrap that. You gotta unwrap that.
Yeah, no, Kirby. He's being fair. He's saying what I said.
Asked you a question.
Yeah.
I'm accepting your answer. So you don't think I'm a weak man, right?
No.
You're not a weak man.
Do you think I'm a stupid man?
No.
No.
Right. Do you think I know nothing about the Bible?
No.
No.
Right. I've read it cover to cover many times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I talk
no,
about
I think you
Isaiah
believe
53?
what you're talking.
When I talk about something like Isaiah 53,
yes, I don't think
I know nothing about that subject.
I think you're hell bent on taking an anti God approach to that.
No, I'm not hell bent. I listen on Isaiah 53. Okay, I do not have a dog in that race. I don't care about what it may have been meant to to say. What I do know
Lou,
is
I
I've read it
believe
many times. I've read it many times. All right. And other than when I was a Christian and was told what it meant, all right, in context, I see the remnant of the nation of Israel. Now, is that an unintellectual thing? No. Are there many, many scholars who agree with my position? Yes. So to say and mock it like, oh, that's so ignorant. All right.
because I was reading it.
You're not a scholar, are you? But you're
No,
going
but I
to
have
say,
a
oh,
brain.
that's so ignorant. All right.
I have
So
a brain,
ignorant.
Lou, and
So ignorant.
just because a scholar disagrees with some other scholar doesn't make them right.
No, I didn't take a side.
You did
I
take a
didn't
side.
take a side. I
You
said
absolutely
in
took a
my
side.
opinion, after reading the passage and the book of Isaiah multiple times, many
took a side.
times, I think it's talking about the author, not God. The author is talking about the nation of Israel. I could be wrong. All right.
Okay,
But
fair enough. Fair enough. But I walked you through it yesterday,
are very intellectual
point by point.
and are backed by probably the majority of scholars who study this, with the exception of Christian scholars. Okay? So you are not in a position to call you're not in a position to call my idea ignorant, all right? Because it's not ignorant.
It's just wrong.
Mike, for Isaiah, the whole book, over and over and over, talks about the servant being the nation of Israel. Now, all of a sudden, in 53, all right.
Right. Okay. I know where you're going, and I understand your argument, but did you not understand me when I said every prophecy of Messiah is written into the context of something else? So Isaiah 53 is exactly the same
let's
as
get
every other prophecy of Messiah.
Let's get intellectual. All right. Isaiah 53, you think is a messianic prophecy.
All right.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. And my position is not unintellectual.
Okay, then because you're live here, you did see the videos of the Jewish guy who goes over to Israel and reads Isaiah 53 to Jews who don't believe in Jesus and asks them, where's this from? And they all say it's from the New Testament, and they all say it's about Jesus. What do you do with that information?
I look at people who have opinions like any other thing I watch. That doesn't make me think it's about Jesus, because the fact is I've read the book.
Right. So these are Jews who don't believe in Jesus, but they're familiar enough with the story to recognize that when you read Isaiah 53, it sounds exactly like Jesus on the cross and what he died and suffered for us.
Okay.
They recognize Jesus, but you don't.
They're people entitled to their opinions, and they're being asked a question. We don't know if they've read the whole book of Isaiah. We don't know where they're coming from. All right. All I'm saying is that the idea that the suffering servant is the nation of Israel, and more specifically, I break it down to more specific for you, Mike. All right. The position that I have is that it's not the entire nation of Israel. The Israelites at that time had come out and were the most of the nation of Israel had been conquered. All right. And those people had come out, and they were a remnant of what was the big whole nation of Israel. All right. And in context,
I covered
that's what I see.
Right. But in context, that means that remnant has to have been put to death for the transgressions of the rest of the world.
Yes, but
they weren't.
All right, we're not going to figure this out. If you're a Jewish person and you're in the religion of Judaism, you do think that the nation of Israel being put to death is sacrificial.
But
That's
that's
what
just an
they
opinion
believe.
of that's
You
just an
understand
opinion
that?
of some person, right?
No, not a person. They believe that the
But Lou,
nation.
no, let me remind you, 30 seconds ago, I said when you read Isaiah 53 to a Jewish person who doesn't believe in Christ, they recognize immediately that that is about Jesus Christ, and they think that's written from the New Testament.
Okay,
But you say that's just the opinion of a person.
Mike, go to Isaiah 49. What is it?
I'm not, dude.
Oh,
I'm
no,
a
you're
half an
not
hour
going to get
past.
into the Bible.
Because
no.
I'm an hour and a half. I mean, I'm a half hour over, dude.
If you want to get into this, I'm willing to talk to you Bible, only Bible. All right, but
I went through this whole thing
saying
yesterday.
I'm supposed to. Some people in Israel were asked what they thought
because it's so patently obvious that it's a messianic prophecy fulfilled in Christ.
Okay, if it's so patently obvious, why do more people disagree with you? Islam is a religion that totally disagrees with your take on Isaiah 53, and Judaism is a religion that disagrees with you on your take on Isaiah 53. And there's more
until
of
you
them
read
than
Isaiah
you.
53 to a Jew, and they go, "Oh man, that's Jesus."
All right, guys, Jewish religion does not believe that.
Yeah.
I got you, dude. It's an hour and a half.
Damn, Lou, I didn't get my turn. See,
Bible, if you want to talk Bible, I don't even read it anymore. But I know off the top of my head.
Lou, this was the longest apology
as much
you got from I didn't even get a chance.
I know it off the top of my head, Mike.
I didn't even get a chance.
And you won't go to Isaiah 49 because in there it specifically tells you who the servant is.
Are you mad?
And it's not Jesus. It is not Jesus.
Right, but in Isaiah 52, it points out that it's talking about the Messiah.
No.
Thanks, Lou.
No. That is what Brenda said. That is your take on it. That's your take on it.
Are you not going to fulfill the disclaimer in the description? I don't know. What's the disclaimer?
Corpse Grinder's jealous that I'm up here, Mike, when he could call in himself, but he doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Corpse Grinder never calls in.
Listen,
I'm glad Lou did. This has been a whole lot of fun.
I called in not because of transgender. But you're even wrong on that.
Well, you took your time with that, Lou.
You're even wrong on that. Right?
But there's no such thing as objective morality, Lou.
That's my position. That doesn't mean I know more than anybody else. It's that whether morality is objective or subjective is a philosophical discussion. People that are atheist, Christian, all different. Christians always take the objective. Atheists believe that there's objective morality. I'm not one of them. All right. But plenty of atheists believe there's in objective morality. So it's
they can't back it up by anything.
It's
all right. That's it.
It's
Lou, stop talking. I'm doing the outro. Thanks, everybody. Lou, thank you for coming on. I really did appreciate it.
Mike, hopefully we had fun.
We did. It was great, dude.
Listen, I hope we had fun. And you know what? I want you to know something because I want you to know the type of man I am. Okay? I'll give you my personal number. We can talk. And I'm out for people. If there's a way I can help you, I will do it.
Oh,
okay? Because I don't look at people, they're Christian, they're Muslim. I don't give a shit. All right. If you're a good human being and you want to talk man to man, I'm willing to do it anytime. All right. In fact, and with the scholarly stuff, I'm willing to talk to anyone about Bible.
So are you saying, Lou, that Mike is a good man to you?
I said if Mike, I don't know you. You don't know me. Is that not? Am I saying something wrong? Do you actually know me?
Not very much.
Okay. Do I actually know you?
You know me as much as anybody who watches my show.
And you know me from watching the YouTube videos.
Right.
Okay. That's not really knowing.
We haven't broken bread. We haven't had a beer.
That's not really knowing each other.
I don't think anybody knows each other on this internet.
I have some very good friends I've made from just being on the internet together. I mean, if we sat here like this every day for a month, we'd know each other better.
Well, I'm saying,
Right.
I consider someone I really know, someone that I interact with on a more intimate, personal basis, man or female. All right. And I get to really know who they are, their families, what they're really about outside of a YouTube channel.
Right.
Okay. All I know about you, Mike, is you're a fundamentalist Christian and you're a cartoonist. All right. That's pretty much all I know. All right. And I'm commenting about what you're saying. I'm not going to hold. If I meet you, I'm going to offer my hand and say, let's shake hands.
Same here.
And
bro, I'd love to have a beer with you. It'd be all kinds of fun.
That's what I
do
mean
want to
by
point out
knowing each other.
one thing I do know about you, Lou, is that you just right now categorized all of humanity as either male or female.
but I would be wrong because there's something called intersex, Mike. Right? And
Yes,
you may not like
illness.
that, but it's a reality.
Right.
No, remember, folks, Lou said he didn't. He came here to not talk about transgender.
No,
but here he goes to talk about
transgender.
He's just dragging me. Oh, Mike, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
Mike, while we're talking about research, do yourself a favor and research how many individuals, human beings on the earth today are actually chromosomally, the direct definition of male or female, are not either male or female. There's about 1.7 million people that exist that are in that category. So when you say only male and female exist, you are wrong.
You said it.
No, I never said that. I said that gender has nothing to do with if someone is male or female.
No. In the conversation, you said, I don't care if you're male or you're female.
I don't care.
You didn't give any third options.
Mike, there are intersex people. They exist. There's about 1.7 million of them in the world today. And that's has nothing to do with gender at all.
So, I agree. There are mutations in the human genome. My son is one.
Okay, so
he's not a hermaphrodite. He's got tetrasomia 18.
So now
that is a genetic anomaly.
Call it whatever you want.
That we should base. It's 0.018%
of the world,
based on live births.
Global.
Right, 0.018%.
Right, so what I'm telling you is that there's over a million. It's like 1.7 million.
Right, but
so you're saying the same thing.
It's not the baseline of humanity.
Yes, in all of humanity today, living on the earth, that are neither male nor female, they are literally intersex. And for you to say, oh no, it's only male or female, is what Brenda said.
Also,
Brenda said that is not the facts.
That's not what he said, Lou. He said
I'll need to work on your sense of humor, buddy.
I told you got me all hot. You got me hot under the collar.
I think what Mike, if I remember what Mike said to Brenda was like, "You're not a woman." That's what he said.
Yes, but
he didn't say what you said.
She is correct in that gender, the word gender, in our common vernacular.
And remember, Lou, you said you came here not to talk about
chromosomal. It is not about your chromosomes. It's about a societal structure. It's about sociology is really what it's about. It's not a word that refers to biology, all right? It refers to a gender being your role in society.
But it seems it's so biology has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, believe the science, everybody. Believe the biology.
Biology has to do. Biology.
Stop being a science denier, Lou.
I'm not. Biology.
All right, everybody. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Biology has to do with male and female. Not.
I have to mute you, Lou.
Tip the fedora. Goodbye, everyone.
I gotta end the stream. God bless everybody. We'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations.
See you guys.